surprise?
No, that's not the surprise. That's not the surprise. We have like a real surprise.
Really? I like your shirt though. Stitch!
My regular white shirt. Thank you. Stitch.
Don't be even trying to guess. I want it to be an actual surprise for me.
And this is where we freeze frame, because so much has changed in the last few months. I don't even work here anymore. So what you're about to see are all the new things. Okay, so I've been working on a novel for a while now. I started it maybe a year and a half ago, and I wrote it in 6 months, the first draft, and then I started revising it. I'm on my second revision now. Well, today I was doing a note-taking, I call it a note-taking read-through, because I wasn't actually doing revisions. I was taking notes on what I need to revise so that I can go back and do it. And I gave myself a deadline. I have a writing accountability partner, which is just a friend, an acting friend that I have. And we're gonna get together later at the end of the week to talk about what we finished. And I have not finished what I said I was gonna finish. I wanted to write every day, and I even made a short about that. But sometimes you just can't. Sometimes there's too much going on. So here we are. I've been waking up at 6:45 a.m. This is early for me. A lot of times I'll go to sleep later and wake up a little bit later in the day because for example, today I have evening classes to teach. I teach guitar lessons and voice lessons and all those things, and a lot of times they're in the evening. So the day kind of gets pushed back that way. So let me tell you, the reason why I have been waking up earlier is not because of my sheer will and productivity. It's because last week there was a roach in my room, and that does not happen often, okay? I have a pretty good exterminator. There was a roach in there, so I went to get the bug spray, and it was already kind of limping. By the time I went back in my room, 5 seconds, okay, the roach was gone. I couldn't sleep. I had to put on my LED kind of lights around my mirror. It came with the house, I didn't buy it. But I had to put on my LED lights and try to sleep. But I thought this roach was gonna kill me. So I was waking up every hour. I did not sleep that night. And y'all, until now, I have not found this roach. I have not found the roach. Anyway, it's dead somewhere, I'm sure. But since then, look, it's a blessing in disguise because I have been waking up around between 6 and 7 since then, and I would like to keep that going. I find that it has been very helpful. God bless the insects. But I found that when I'm able to get creative things done kind of first thing in the morning, it puts me at ease for the rest of the day. I feel like it's like I've taken a breath, you know? So that's where I am. I've got a whole plan. I've got a whole notebook of notes on this novel. It is a Victorian novel, set in the late Victorian era, late 1800s. And when you think about it, it's really not that long ago because my grandfather was alive in the late 1800s. And, but it's a historical romance. That's how I'd categorize it. I'm very excited about it because I don't know, it's a world that I want to live in, this world that I've built. And I'll be talking about this project on this channel probably often because I'll be working on it for a while. But I've come across a problem. I don't know if it's a problem or not, but within the story, I'm writing multiple point of views, up to 3. There's one character that I think is very important and integral to the story, but she might need her own book. And that just makes me so... I'm like, did I set myself up for failure or what? Because if I want to submit this book for traditional publishing, are they expecting me to like submit the series? Or I don't know, maybe I'm just getting ahead of myself. It's just, I just feel like that character is important and people will be interested in her story, and I won't do her justice if I just cut it off, you know, at the end and leave a cliffhanger. So I don't know what this is going to develop into, but I guess we'll have to see after I do the second revision. So that's one thing that I am working towards for the end of the week. We will see how that turns out. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing, makes it all so clear. Smile though your heart
Yeah, we're gonna try first without any music or any whatever in the background and see how you do since the first time you tried it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go. Can you do that again? How do I sound when I laugh? That's funny. To plie in parallel. Yes. And then we're gonna rise. Up and down. Point. Bring it back. Arms over, port de bras. Flex. Bring it back to the side.
So it's Wednesday, and I didn't have really any creative time this morning. I got up really early and I started work around 8:15. Like I had a call at 8:15 this morning. And so usually I would I would like write or something around 7, start at 7:15. It wasn't working out, but that's okay. That's okay. Like it's one day I was doing I had a pretty good pattern set up. Maybe I can write later when I come home. I want to be realistic with myself, set up a realistic expectation, and I don't know if that will happen. But by the 31st, I have to finish my note-taking read-through of this book. I have to do it. I need to do lunch, and then put in a couple more hours for work. And then I need to leave and go out kind of to my other job for the evening. It's not really a stressful day, actually. The schedule today is more flexible than usual. We'll see what's happening. I think I need to get ready.
to do our Friday Bible study. Yes! Look, it's one of my cute little co-leaders. She used to be in my Bible study. Well, no, you didn't. You were in there for like once. Yeah. It's fine. And then she moved to another Bible study because the leader was much cooler than me. But anyway, now she's leading. Now she's leading with me. We're here early before our girls show up. So praise God. And we've got prayer meeting tonight, and I'm leading that. Yay. So we got chicken. We've got fried chicken. Yes. The camera fell. Okay, there we go. Okay, great. So we have fried chicken. Can they see the chicken? Yeah. The chicken's in it. Hi, Ricky. Is he back there? These are the sweet babies. The little college babies. Okay, they don't want to be called babies.
I can call it baby version.
It's endearing, you know what I mean? It's like a, yeah.
In the old Greek Septuagint translation of this proverb, that word showing kindness to the poor is the same root Greek word that Jesus uses, phileo. Jesus is expressing a worldview in which, when there's somebody in my community who's in need, how I relate to them is how I relate to God. Yahweh identifies himself with the most poor and vulnerable people in our communities.
Okay, so it's Sunday, and it's the end of the week. We made it to the end of the week. I would say as a whole, I have this little thing on my phone. Well, it's my calendar, but I don't know if you can see. There are emojis on here that help me keep track of how I felt each day. I've been doing this for a couple months now, because it's not like I need it, but sometimes, you know, I'll have one bad moment in the week and then I'll basically chalk up the whole week to it was a terrible week. And that's just not true. If I have a reminder of like all the smiley faces or the heart faces or something to remind me like, oh wow, I had a really good day, or there was this moment that encouraged me or something, it gives me a better outlook, I think, on life. Anyway, yesterday I had some time to do some writing. I had a goal that by August 31st I would finish a read-through of my novel in which I was taking notes so that I could revise a second time. And I did finish that yesterday. There's still some thoughts, like I could put some notes back on it, but I went through all of the chapters. So honestly, I'm happy about that. Like, I'm proud of myself, and I could call that an achievement. I'm trying to make sure that I acknowledge my achievements, my little ones, okay? Because I'm not very good in like encouraging myself. So I did that yesterday, and I'm gonna meet with my writing friend, accountability partner, hopefully tomorrow, to talk about it, talk about our goals and what's next, and how we feel about it, and all that stuff, do a debrief. Anyway, since it's Sunday, I went to church and I came back and I had a worship kind of jam session with one of the students, and it's actually raining outside. Thank God it was just drizzling. So I came back and I'm like barely wet, but I have my pretty white dress on because it was first Sunday, which means we took communion. And I was riding my bike home in the cold, I'm not gonna say cold, but in the wet, and it is a little chillier outside than normal, and that would be like 88 degrees. Okay, I think I want to take a nap. Tomorrow is Labor Day, so I should maybe wash my hair either today or tomorrow. But thanks guys for spending the week with me, and until next time.